So thanks for joining me. My name is Mitch Collins, and today we're going to be reviewing the cash flow Proforma for a very popular Crestview legally suited home in Fort St. John, in particular in Energy Park. Really excited about this home. We've really got to do some very innovative things in the construction phase to really ensure maximum, the best tenant experience possible, as well as the best property management experience for your manager long term. So we've done some things in this home that we've never seen in the marketplace before, and just rounded a very interesting legally suited home. Okay, so a quick overview. This suited home currently is on 8703 82nd Street, so we're in the southeast quadrant of Fort St. John. There's two units in the property, obviously one on the main level and the second one being a legal basement suite underneath the property. Now that's very rare in Fort St. John. The ability to get a legal conforming suite from the city is very uncommon. In fact, you need to have something called R2 zoning, and to date, we're the only new subdivision in Fort St. John that has R2 zoning in it right now. So purchase price on the home is $599,000. That's for our baseline model. So there are three optional upgrades. Number one being the hardy board siding, second being granite countertops, and the third being fencing. Everything else is included in the purchase price, so including the landscaping, which, at the time of the photograph here was not taken because it was a little bit into the winter time. But landscaping is always included. Our blinds are included. Double wide concrete driveways are included, as well as all the stainless appliances and everything ready to turnkey over to your property management company. So what we're seeing right now from a top level point of view is that the baseline model, which is still one of the top properties that you'll ever find in Fort St. John, your initial cost investment is going to be about $132,700. Okay, and that's going to round us out in the neighborhood right now of $956 per month of net cash flow, net of all of the expenses that we will talk about later on. So that's a quick overview, and let's jump into more details on this great property. Okay, so first thing, purchase price at $599,900. We're assuming an 80% mortgage, so a down payment of just about $120,000. Then we've got buying costs of $12,720, and that's going to be detailed out a little bit further on into the video. But let's talk about the mortgage. So first off, what we're looking at is an 80% mortgage. We've estimated a 30-year amortization with 2.7% interest. So while banks are slowly increasing rates right now, we're still seeing rates pretty conservatively at that number. Now, over to the income side, we're seeing right now these particular suites are renting at about $39.90 per month, so just under $4,000 for the entire home. We factor in 5% for vacancy loss, whether or not it's there. We do factor that in as part of our cash flow. And then we run through all of our expenses. So we have an estimated cost at $1,500 per year for insurance. City taxes are going to be in the neighborhood of $5,000. Repairs and maintenance, we've allocated 4%. So $150 a month is probably going to be on the high side because this is a brand new property. So I own several of these myself, and over experience, I can say that probably for the first, 3 to 5 years, you really shouldn't be running into a lot of repairs and maintenance, and a lot of what you are going to run into will be covered under the very extensive home warranty included with these homes. So anyway, very likely that'll be high for the first few years, but we have included it nonetheless. And then finally, property management fees. If you haven't already seen the property management video that I've conducted with our rental agent, then I'll refer you to that video later on. But because we've custom built and created some very nice features for our property manager, we've been able to allocate $200 for property management, which is $100 per suite, and that's full service. There is no lease-up fees. There's no additional costs. So those are what we're receiving all day long right now. And all of that breaking into account, by the time we factored in all of our costs, and including vacancy and repairs and maintenance, which are not costs we're going to be faced with every month, we're left with a very impressive $956 net cash flow, net of the expenses. So very high number there. In fact, if you look over here, that's showing nearly a 9% cash-on-cash return. So what that means is every year, the cash flow is going to be roughly 8.6% of your total cash initial investment. So we're just about 9% before we even look at the effects of mortgage paydown and capital depreciation. So really great fundamental on this brand new custom built home that'll attract very high end equity building tenants. So we'll take a minute here and really explore some of the long-term impacts of a property like this and some of the long-term investment fundamentals behind it. So what I've put into this particular property is a 4% rental increase model. So given the impacts right now of Site C and LNG and a lot of the other things and major projects that are occurring, while nobody has a crystal ball, it does look like there's enough driving economic factors coming into play in our market that should push the rental rates beyond the 4% that we've allocated for. So I think we've been pretty conservative. But what we'll see there is that we've kept vacancy loss at 5% throughout the 30-year period. Again, that's likely to come down because of things like Site C and then LNG projects and that kind of thing. But that's all we've estimated. So I think we've been pretty conservative. We've also plugged in a 5% per year capital appreciation. Now, Fort St. John historically has seen between 9 and as many as 11% per year for the last several years. So going forward, we're only using a 5% capital appreciation, which is again very conservative. So anyway, that being said, what we're looking at right now in the very first year, we'll take a look at the income analysis. So for the cash flow, you can expect year number one to see somewhere in the neighborhood of $11,500 in the very first year, jumping to just about $13,000 the year after that, and year number three, $14,500. Basically, we're seeing escalating cash flows every year until finally at year 30, when the mortgage is paid off, it jumps to a whopping $93,000, which is probably enough to retire on for most people. So anyway, without major being conservative on our expectations for future demand, our cash flows are going to increase very handsomely, even with a pretty conservative forecast model. So now let's take a little peek here at the equity piece of the property. So when we go into the loan analysis, I just have to turn my little highlighter on. So for the loan analysis, you can expect in the first year with a 5% appreciation model to land at about $160,000 in equity, jumping nearly $40,000 the year after that, nearly $50,000 the year after that. So the capital appreciation plus the mortgage paydown using only a 5% capital upside, we're seeing substantial year-over-year returns. And just going to round out, when we add that into the cash flow, round out very high return, total return on investment for this particular property. And lastly, we'll take a peek at the a really important metric that factors in your total cash flow, factors in your monthly cash flow, as well as your mortgage paydown and your capital appreciation, and that's your return on investment. So in the first year, we're looking at 6%. And the reason is we've got some initial costs up front to deal with, like your land transfer tax and that kind of thing. So it hurts the first year's analysis a bit. But jumping into year two, you can expect to see a 46% return. And by year three, we're at a whopping just about a 90% return. And in fact, if you run this whole thing out through a 30-year period, using very conservative capital appreciation measures and cash flow, it looks like a stunning nearly a 3,000% return over a 30-year period. So, while the cash flow metric is very strong, the total return on investment is virtually unparalleled for this particular property. Now we're looking at the rent roll. So for the upper suite right now, we're estimating $21.95 per month, and we're expecting about $17.95 for the lower suite in today's market right now. So I won't get into it in too much of detail as to why we're going to see these kind of rents on these properties, but take a peek at the accompanying YouTube videos that really walk through the property, and you'll hear about a lot of the features and benefits and really extra time, money, and attention that have gone into creating just an unbelievably premier suite. Okay, so now on top of the down payment, we'll take a peek at some of the itemized closing costs. So first off, an appraisal is going to be in the neighborhood of $300. A lot of the time you can get your lenders to cover that cost if you ask. Usually they won't offer that, but if you ask, a lot of the time we're seeing that cost covered. Title insurance, while it's not really mandatory for a brand new property, it's something that I always suggest because it's a cheap one-time insurance policy that just covers you in the event that something was placed offsite a land boundary or something like that. So it is very cheap. I put it on every property that I own. And then in British Columbia, we do have a land transfer tax, which is simply a percentage of the value of the property. So it's 1% in the first $200,000 of the home and then 2% on the remaining balance. So because the baseline model for this home starts at $599, we're landing at $10,000 cost for the transfer tax. We're estimating $1,500 for legal fees. If you're buying from the lower mainland in British Columbia, you can usually work with a notary and get that chewed down to I've seen as little as $800 recently. And then an inspection. So what we always do, because these are new builds, is I always work with I work with and advise us to get a third-party, unbiased inspector to come through and just do a deficiency list prior to closing to make sure that if there's any deficiencies with a new home, and there's always something, whether it's a paint run or a nail pop or just something that has been missed, he gives us a very clear list of those things, and then we hand that to the builder to make sure they're all rectified prior to the closing date. So now just a little bit, I won't spend a lot of time on this because this stuff has been covered a lot in the traditional YouTube videos, but the entrance into the upper suite, very, very high-end, ceramic tiles all throughout the property. We've got the entrance downstairs. You see the staircase downstairs. Well, that leads to some storage room under the staircase here, as well as the laundry room down here, which are going to be in pictures later on. So coming up the stairs, we land into the living room. Again, we've put in really high-grade vinyl laminate flooring throughout the main floor upstairs. And vinyl laminate flooring is just, if you haven't heard of it, is just probably the single best product in in any kind of a rental home that you could imagine. It looks very, very, very nice, but it's a rubberized product, completely immune to water, very, very scratch resistant, and it is really tough, durable. And if a piece does get damaged somehow, you can pull out one piece and replace it without having to pull up the entire floor. So just a fantastic flooring option. And as you can see, we've got some stained wood pieces here, really, really bright open windows. There's another big window on this side here. So coming down to this piece, again, just another view from the living room, but just really, really fantastic space. Lots of room for big screen TVs. In fact, there's cable outlets on all three walls. There's another wall back here that's not in the picture, but they're all there. So when you come around here, if you were to walk over here, it's going to lead you right into the kitchen and dining room. And we've got a big walk-in pantry here, and then access into the dining room with the patio door out to our sun deck. Now the kitchen on these things needs to be talked about because we've done some features in here that are not typical. So first off, one of the additional upgrades that we can get on this home for a $5,000 option is full granite counters on the upper and lower kitchens. So standard is our standard offering is the typical countertops. They still look very, very nice, but that's the only upgrade option in the kitchen. Everything else is standard. So we get very, very high grade stainless appliances, and even so much so with the kitchen, with our kitchen refrigerator, because we have the right kind of flooring. We've been able to put in water and ice dispensers in our high grade stainless appliances just to feature something else and give our tenants a really nice wow factor. So again, very high grade cabinetry, soft close cabinets, big bright window in front of the you can see it down here in front of the sink, double stainless sinks, and just a very, very nice kitchen. So down to this side we've got the living room, chandelier style, again lots of natural light and access into the door, and we've got stairs down into our very private fenced and landscape yard. Okay, a little bit more with pictures. Coming out of the dining room, you're going to walk into the sun deck, and there is some stairs down this way that'll lead you to that private yard. So first bedroom, we have put nice carpeting in. This room is actually bigger than it looks in the picture, but we do have forced air, high efficiency furnace, heat coming in, large windows, and then a big closet. Secondary bedroom, the same thing. And then the master bedroom is just a really, really massive size. So when we come into it, as you can see from here and here, that we've got a full walk-in closet with all the shelving organizers and everything already built in. That's included in the price. And then a full ensuite. So in the ensuite bathroom, which is a full bathroom, as well as the main bathroom down the hallway here, we've done things like full ceramic tile flooring, and then floor-to-ceiling ceramic tile surround around the bathrooms, and full glass tile backsplash along our vanities. And that same glass tile backsplash has been used in the kitchen, and it is just a really, really nice high-end feature that attracts big tenants. Okay, so just to finish up, the upper suite, as you come downstairs, we've got really, really spacious mechanical / storage and laundry room. So high-grade appliances for our laundry facilities, lots of great storage space, and a counter for your laundry hampers and that kind of thing. Full ceramic tile downstairs, and a big window in the back. So that's all in the video tour. So that rounds up the upper suite. Just a fantastic suite upstairs. And then downstairs, what we do have is a separate private entryway. Now, what I don't have, for whatever reason, I haven't got a picture of the garage, but as you come into the side door, that brings you right in here. Immediately, you can hang to the right, and there's another door leading into the private heated garage for the basement suite. So coming downstairs, you come in through this way, and then you turn around, and you just got a really awesome kitchen in the basement suite. So it's full 9-foot ceilings, and we've done some tremendous things on the soundproofing that I will showcase in another video. So there's 4 levels of soundproofing. What we've put in is safe and sound insulation between the floor joists. Then we put in a layer of drywall, and then a layer of Donnacona, which is a very thick insulating material. And then on top of that, a layer of resilient channel, and then another layer of drywall. So coupled with the fact that we have electric baseboard heat with no common ductwork in the ceilings, we've eliminated as much sound as we possibly think we can. So virtually soundproof, about as soundproof as you can get. So with the 9-foot ceilings, there's no window wells, plenty of natural light. Again, high-grade stainless appliances, the granite counters downstairs. We've got that same glass tile backsplash, soft close cabinetry, and just a really beautiful kitchen for a basement suite. You don't normally see these kind of things. On top of that, we've got now the view from the kitchen is we've got a living room in here, a dining room nook over here, access to the first bedroom, second bedroom, laundry, and the bathroom is set up there. Okay, so in this particular Proforma, we've only got the photos of the master bedroom. So this is the view coming into the bedroom. Very big size. It's the photos don't really do this justice. So we've got a walk-in closet in the master bedroom, and then this is the view from the walk-in closet leading out here to our laundry and bathroom. Again, great size. We got full daylight windows here. Does not feel like a basement suite at all when you're in this thing. Then leading out into the hallway, first thing we'd walk into is the fully contained laundry facility. So again, just lots of cupboard space and really high-grade appliances. And then with the bathroom, full ceramic tile flooring, glass tile backsplash, and then floor-to-ceiling ceramic tile tub surround. So that rounds out the Crestview property. Very thrilled about what we've been able to accomplish with this home. And in fact, so much, the one in this video I own. So go halfway through construction, I couldn't sell it. We had to keep it. So anyway, we do have a couple more of these that we can build. Everything that's currently under construction has been sold, but give me a shout. And as I say this, it's right at the end of January 2016. So thanks very much for joining me. And again, call me Mitch Collins at 250-262-9338. Thank you very much.